Hey guys, Halina here, and today I'm going to be looking at some Canadian problems, so stay tuned. Okay, so I'm really running out of ideas, and I figured, why not? So, I got my Canada shirt on, and I'm gonna just look at some Canadian problems that I feel like are generally gonna be, you know, relatable to at least some parts of the world. But yeah, let's just get into it. All right. Canadian problem number 22. Shipping within the U.S. free. Shipping internationally $3 billion. It's never really $3 billion, but it's up there. Like, you can have it like anywhere from like a couple bucks to like a couple thousand. And it's like, why? Like, why? I only, like, if I shop online, I only like shop at like Canadian like sites. Like, usually it's typically Chapters, which is our bookstore, and I shop there a lot. But yeah, because the shipping is free or it's only like a couple bucks. I mean, I can deal with that. Canadian problem number 82. Being the one Canadian that doesn't follow hockey. Present. Y'all can hate me if you want. I don't care. I never really followed hockey. Like, the Olympic hockey is about as far as I will go. In terms of following hockey, I'll follow Team Canada hockey to the ends of the earth at this point. But just in general, I just don't care. Like, is that bad? I guess maybe, but I just don't follow hockey. Like, yeah, I'll like, keep tabs on like the scores for all of Toronto's teams, like Raptors and Blue Jays and Toronto Maple Leafs, and like, yeah. But overall, it's just I don't watch sports. It just doesn't appeal to me. Okay. Canadians are mad when autocorrect can't even recognize the Canadian spelling. Yes. When it has the red squiggly lines underneath, it's not so bad because I just go and I hit learn spelling. But the problem is when it like autocorrects, and like when you're like doing like homework for school or whatever, then like teachers are very like ununderstanding. Like, they don't understand that your computer like auto-corrected it to the American spelling, and they'll deduct points, and they'll deduct marks because you spelled things wrong, but it wasn't your fault because you did type it in right. Just the computer's like, nah, it's wrong. They really need like a keyboard thing for English Canada, because so many problems. It's like bad enough that you have to like type out like a report, but then you have to like proofread it and make sure that it didn't like autocorrect, and like sometimes your brain plays tricks on you because you know what you're supposed to be writing and it thinks that you did write it. Sorry, I just lost way too many marks in school because of that. So when it costs $1,580 for shipping. Yes. I told you it was somewhere between a couple bucks to a couple thousand. So in this picture sums up a lot of problems, because the item total is $39.47. Shipping is $1,578.95, bringing the grand total to $1,616.42. At that point, I'm just like, I don't really need this. I don't need this item. I don't need these items. I don't need them. No, I don't need them. Well, fine. I didn't want to park there anyways. The Canadian geese are everywhere. And they'll like cross the street when you have a green light, and they'll like just be moseying along, and then they'll like look at you like, we know what we're doing. They're evil. Currency from around the world displayed in a British pub. Canadian Tire money. Yeah, Canadian Tire money is like generally pointless. Like, it's like a couple cents, and like it doesn't help at all. Look, guys, I found an American quarter. Yeah, yeah, that's kind of true. The exchange rate's all over the place every time. Like, it's like, and it rarely works out in our favor. Like, we're always paying more to get less, and it's like, why? Why don't you love us? Canadian problems. Weather in Canada be like Monday, 20 and sunny. Tuesday, -3 and snowing. Wednesday, 7 and partly cloudy. Thursday, 12 and raining. And Friday, 27, sunny with a chance of snow. Yeah, this is typically the weather between like summer and fall and like winter and spring. Like, the weather's just all over the place and you never know what you're gonna wake up to. Like, one day it can be like a heat wave, and then the next day it's like freezing. So yeah, like the weather's usually all over the place there, but sometimes it'll go all over the place like in random months. But yeah, typically it's like the transition from the big major seasons, from like hot to cold, and then from cold to hot. That's cool. I didn't want to cross anyways. This is everything. The crosswalk button being in a pile of snow, yeah, I mean, you can't reach it no matter how hard you try. This happens with buses too. I had to take city buses. I had to from college, but high school I didn't have to, but I did because I was too lazy. And like, they want you to exit the back of the bus, and then the back of the bus has like a giant heaping mound of snow that is about like 2 times taller than the average human. And it's like, but how am I supposed to get off the bus? Always. When you're running late and don't have time to wait on the defrost. I've seen people driving with like frost on their windows, and it's like, there is no way you can see out the window. They've never done this though. I've never seen this. But I have seen people driving with frost on the windows. I'm like, you're going to cause an accident, you guys. Like, really? Is that necessary? Yeah. Fahrenheit is a confusing and impenetrable mystery. I mean, I don't care. Like, honestly, Fahrenheit doesn't make a difference to me. I think it's like, yeah, I hate when, like, they tell me the temperature in Fahrenheit and then I have to figure it out in Celsius. But, I mean, being in Canada, it's like, well, you know, typically it's all written in Celsius anyways, and we just roll with it. Except for cooking. Cooking is usually Fahrenheit, and it's like, but why? Wet hair turns to icicles. Yes, it does. I don't go out with wet hair. Or, like, if it's, like, cold, like, even just, like, a little chilly, I don't go out with wet hair. Because I usually end up getting, like, major coughs and stuff like that. Because it's like, well, great, now I'm sick. Because it is so cold. Wet hair turns to icicles. Never go out with wet hair. Never. When you cut too big a hole in the milk bag. Too big, too small, wrong side. I've done all of the above. Usually I cut it too small, and that's fine, but it takes forever. Like, it takes forever for the milk to pour out. But if you cut it too big, then it's like the floodgates have opened, and so I'd rather cut it too small. But there was one time where my grandma cut it on the wrong side. And that was fun, because we couldn't, like, maneuver it, so we had to, like, figure out how to make it work. It wasn't too bad, though. We figured it out. But, Yeah, the milk bags are the best deal for milk, so you gotta go with the milk bags, but they're kind of problematic. Ooh, 15 cents. That's really helpful, Canadian Tire. Yeah, Canadian Tire money. Pointless. Useless. Somehow we still have a whole bunch in our house. World tour doesn't necessarily mean you'll be seeing your favorite band anytime soon. I mean, that's kind of true, I guess. But I don't really pay attention because I don't go see bands or anything like that. Like, I don't like being in crowded spaces. And I just don't care. It costs too much money, and I'm like, I got better things to do with my money. So, yeah, it's very, very rare that I'll go, like, anywhere. Canadian breakdancing. All the time. Every winter. Every day. A lot of times that is why I took the bus in high school, because it's like, I'm not walking home when, like, I can, like, slip and fall and hurt myself on somebody's driveway or whatever. But now with the dog, she takes me for walks in the winter, and she loves chasing random things. A squirrel, a leaf. Like, she just wants to play with everything and everybody. And so, like, she'll, like, run after stuff, and I'm, like, trying not to, like, fall down a hill, and she's like, but I want to play. And then I fall, and then I'm, like, sliding everywhere, and it's not fun. It's not fun. Trying to get your foreign friends to take you seriously while explaining how delicious beaver tails are. Oh, for starters, beaver tails are delicious. No, they are not actual beaver tails. We're not that crazy. Yeah, beaver tails are just like fried dough with like toppings. Typically, like cinnamon sugar, but like literally, like you can have like anything on beaver tails. And yeah, but I prefer OG. Cinnamon sugar beaver tails. I haven't had beaver tails in so long. I want beaver tails now. Damn it. I want beaver tails. Sorry, this video is not available in your region. Always. Like, typically it's like if you try to go on like ABC or NBC or CBS or CW or any of those like US station websites, then it's like, oh, well, it's not available in your region. It's like, well, great. But even YouTube has it sometimes, and it's like, but why? Why is it not available in my region? I just want to watch. Okay. Winter fire drills. Always the worst. Like, because typically, like, the schools will, like, put on, like, the heat, so you typically come dressed, you know, t-shirt, thin, long sleeve shirt, because you don't want to be too hot during the day. And besides, you have, like, your winter coat and your sweaters and everything else like that for afterwards when you're going outside. And then it's like that stupid fire alarm rings, and you line up and you walk outside, and the teachers are making sure that everybody's here and nobody got left behind, and you're standing there, and you're like, it's a drill. Why are we doing this? And then they finally let you back inside, and you're like, warmth. Man, I hate winter fire drills. Like, I get the point of fire drills, but, like, really, can we not schedule them in winter? When you hold the door open for one person, and it ends up being 3 students, 5 faculty, 7 aliens, and the stampede that killed Mufasa. So true. So true. I typically hold the door open for people. Just a force of habit. Especially, like, older people. Like, at our church, there's a lot of old people, so I'll, like, hold the door open, and I'm like, I feel bad, because I feel like I'm, like, forcing them to, you know, move quicker so that they can get to the door and stop inconveniencing me. But I'm like, I'm not gonna, like, close the door when they're coming, like, especially if they have, like, canes or walkers or something. I'm like, I don't want them to try to struggle to open the door, too. And then like some young people come like through the door or whatever, and I'm like, I wasn't holding the door for you. It's like I was holding it for these people over here, but I wasn't holding it for you. And like you can't exactly like let go of the door. But it's like I just want to get out of here. But I have to hold the door open for these 75,000 people that decided they are deciding to leave or come at this point. And it's like it's like you try to do nice things and it never works out. When Americans assume you live in igloos. Yeah, no, we don't. Like we don't. We live in like, you know, tiny little shacks to giant mansions. And no igloos. No igloos. Igloos are not typical residences. No, they're not. People don't typically reside in igloos. I mean, I guess maybe some people do, but it's not like we have to. Oh my gosh, this is so accurate. Roll up the rim. I always get, please play again. Please play again. It's like I don't want to. But I might win. I might win the car. I might win money. Although winning a car would be pointless because I don't drive. But, oh, it's like I might win. Sometimes I'll win a donut, and that's like great because I'm like, donuts. But typically it's please play again. And I'm like, but I didn't want to. I don't want to. Yeah, it's so accurate. You measure height and weight in imperial, and temperature and distance in metric. That is true. Whoa, that's weird. Why do we do that? Like, I don't get it. I don't know why we do. We just do. And it doesn't make much sense to anybody at this point. But typically we don't even think about it. That's the weird thing. Like, I know for me, I didn't think about it until I saw this, and I'm like, wait, we do, and it's weird. But, yeah, we're weird. We're weird. It's snowing. Must be pretty warm out. Okay. I don't think this, ever. But I know some people that do. Especially like in like the colder parts of Canada, like Alberta gets like really bad winters and stuff like that. So yeah, this would typically mean pretty warm out, but here, no, it means it's snowing and it's cold. And it means you're going to have to shovel and shovel and shovel and shovel and shovel and shovel and shovel. Always shovel. There's a place I know in Ontario. Okay. So this is the Marineland theme song. I'm going to call it a theme song, but it's more like a jingle, and there's about like 3 of them, I think. And of course I started singing it, but I'm not going to sing the whole thing because that would drive away anybody that was watching by this point. But yeah, there's a place I know in Ontario. And it's like, there's a place I know in Ontario where the sea lions kiss, so the story goes. It's amazing shows at Friendship Cove. Everyone loves Marineland. And then it's like a bunch of other words that I just don't know. But it's like literally like all of the jingles for Marineland got stuck in my head with that one sentence. So it gets stuck in your head very easily, and then you can't stop singing it. It's like those annoying songs that get stuck in your head. School crafts that required you to work out how to draw that goddamn make-believe. I have it on my shirt. I have a bunch of them on my shirt. I still don't know how. And I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. There's a lot of problems with that. And for some reason my brain went like to like having to like fill out a map of Canada. And we have like Saskatchewan, and like Saskatchewan's like the smallest little narrow province, and it's like the biggest word, and it's like you write it as like a U. And then like Prince Edward Island and all the little islands, it's like for some reason that took me to that, and I was like, it's weird. But yeah, trying to figure out how to draw the maple leaf, not fun. And it's like you literally like have no idea. Like it's crazy. If you pronounce the second T in Toronto, you obviously don't live in Toronto. Um, I feel like I do both. I feel like I do pronounce the T and then I don't pronounce the T. Um, it's weird. But yeah, Toronto. Toronto. I guess maybe I pronounce it more without the second T. Yeah. EQAO, 3 times. Okay, I only remember the EQAO taking it twice. Because there's the EQAO in grade 3, the EQAO in grade 6, and then there was the secondary school literacy test in grade 10, but that's not EQAO. So I don't know where the third time comes in. But we had, like, school showcases where, like, all the classes would, like, put together, like, songs and dances and everything, and we would just, like, put on shows for, like, the parents and everything like that. And in grade 3, we had, like, EQAO to the tune of YMCA. And it's, like, it's fun to write the EQAO, and it's, like, none of us believed it. None of us believed what we were singing, but, oh, man, it was a pain. It really was. I hated it. All schools are closed except for yours. Now, typically for us, it was more along the lines of buses are canceled, and that's because the roads were really bad. But, like, they still expected people who didn't take the bus to find their way to school. But I'm really mad because I never had a snow day. 14 years of school and never had a snow day. And I finally get out of school, like, and my brother gets snow days in high school. Like, high schools never got snow days. And he's like, oh yeah, I got a snow day. And I was like, are you kidding me? Where was my snow days? I wanted snow days. I never got any. I'm mad. Any Swiss Chalet ad ever? This is an interesting one. Is it a problem because they're bad? Or is it a problem because you want it? Because for me, it's the latter. Every time I see a Swiss Chalet ad, I'm like, oh, Swiss Chalet. Swiss Chalet is great. The chalet sauce, I'm so happy nobody in my family likes the Swiss Chalet sauce because I love it. And I'm just like, roll it in, rake it in. I want it. Yeah, but every time I see an ad for Swiss Chalet, I'm like, I want it. It's like, it looks so good. And it is good. But it's like, literally, it's a problem. Like, I'll, like, see it, like, in the afternoon or whatever, and I'm like, oh, I went to chalet for lunch. And then I'll see it in, like, the evening, and I'll be like, I went to chalet for dinner, and it's like, we had some chalet for lunch. It's like, but it showed up on TV, and I want it. We never end up getting it. But, yeah, it makes me want it. That's why it's a problem, but, yeah. Counting in French requires intricate math. Counting? No. Counting, figured out pretty easily. Took 9 years of French. I still can't speak French. However, trying to, like, create sentences where you had to, like, figure out what the gender was for every object, like a chair is female, la chaise. It's like, why do I have to know this? But it's like, I always got the wrong ones. I always did. Yeah, counting in French does not require intricate math. And everything else about French requires intricate math. A penny? Nickel. For your thoughts? Yeah, we got rid of the penny. I don't know why. I really don't. Now everything's rounded up. It's like, oh, your total is $12.47, so that'll be $12.49. Or no, that'll be $12.50 or whatever. And it's like, but why? It's never rounded down. It's rounded up. So I'm paying more money. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like it. Shoveling the roof so that it doesn't cave in. I don't know if we've ever had to shovel the roof. I think maybe a few times we did, but typically it's not something we do here. But I know that there are, like, a lot of places that get quite a bit of snow, and this is a problem. Just not a problem for us, I guess. When Roll Up the Rim is about to end and you have yet to win anything. Always. Always. No, I mean, typically you don't win. Like, you'll win, like, a coffee or a donut or whatever, but it's like, they always show the cars. They always show the money. And you're like, but I'm never gonna win it. So, here we are. Nothing lasts forever except the salt stains on my shoes. Yeah. Nothing lasts forever except for those. The salt stains are horrendous. I literally, like, it, like, never goes away. Like, you can, like, scrub it till there's nothing left of the shoe. But the salt stain will still be there. The shoe won't. The salt stain will. And it's like, why? And half the time it doesn't even melt the ice anyways. Archaeology in Canada. Okay. I don't think we've ever had snow that bad. We've had snow where, like, we ran out of places to put the snow. But I don't think we've ever had it that bad. Maybe some places have. Just not us. I don't know. Doing air quotes in mittens is stunningly ineffective. It is. But we live for mittens. It's like, it's easier to keep your fingers warm in mittens because you can, like, curl them up in balls. It's really fun. Like, but it's like, you can't really do much with them. Shovel driveway. 10 minutes later, shovel driveway again. Yep. That's a huge issue for sure. Like, half the time, like, my mom, because she does, like, the shoveling and everything, she's like, I'm just not gonna shovel, like, until it stops snowing. And then it doesn't stop snowing, so she's like, I guess I better go out there and shovel before, like, we can't get out of our house. Yeah, and then she'll, like, wake up in the morning and she'll have to shovel again, and it's like, winters in Canada are so long. Nothing else lasts as long. Being a Canadian is confusing because you sound like an American, write like a Brit, and throw in just enough French words to freak everyone out. That's true. We do. We speak like Americans, like, and then we write like the British, sort of. And then, you know, French. Most of us, over a certain age, had to take French since grade 1, at least. And my brother, who's 5 years younger than me, got to skip all of that and start taking French in grade 4. So, yeah. I took French a lot longer than he did, and I think he can speak French better than I can. So, was it really a good idea? Who knows? Dallas, Texas, Chicago, Illinois, Toronto, Canada. Yeah, Toronto is in Ontario, which is in Canada, so you kind of missed a step. The driveway blocking ridge of snow that the snowplow leaves. The worst is when you, like, finally shovel and you're like, oh yes, I'm gonna be able to leave my driveway now. It's so smooth onto the road. And then the snowplow comes and it's like, oh, nope. And then it freezes so quickly, like it becomes ice, and you can't cut through the ice. Snowplows. But with the wind chill, always with the wind chill, always. It's like, just tell me that, like, just tell me that temperature, because I don't care about, like, the fact that it's, like, -10, but with the wind chill it feels like -40. I just want the -40. Just give it to me straight. Don't try to sugarcoat it by being like, well, it's only -10 out, but, you know, with the wind chill, it's like, no. New hit song in Canada. Every day I'm shoveling. Yup. Every day. I feel like we're shoveling all the time. It's like everywhere. Shoveling all the time is just like psychotic. Like we get to know our neighbors while we're shoveling because everybody's out there shoveling at the same time and we're like, this is horrible. This is horrible. Yeah. Mm-hmm. New poppy every other day. This is an issue. But my mom found out then from somebody from somewhere that like to put like a pin, so now we have like a Canadian flag pin holding our poppies, and it has like the back clasp thing, so the poppies don't fall off. And it's like, yes, I didn't lose the poppies. I still sometimes give to like the thing, and I'm like, I don't need a poppy, but here. Car heater on, too hot. Car heater off, can't see through fog. Yep. You know you're Canadian when. So this one's a long one, but I think it's the last one. So you stand in lineups at the movies, not lines. Yes. You're not offended by the term homo milk. Nope. You understand the sentence, could you please pass me a serviette? I just spilled my poutine. Oh, poutine. I want poutine now. I want poutine. I want poutine. You eat chocolate bars instead of candy bars. Yes, because they're chocolate. You drink pop, not soda. Yeah. You get milk in bags as well as cartons and plastic jugs. But the bags are the best deal. Pike is a type of fish, not some part of a highway. I did not know any of that. Okay. You drive on a highway, not a freeway. Mm-hmm. You have Canadian Tire money in your kitchen drawers. We have Canadian Tire money all over our house. You are excited whenever an American television show mentions Canada. Yeah, sometimes. But a lot of times, like, because I watch, like, cop shows and stuff like that, it's, like, the bad guys escaping to Canada, and I'm like, I didn't need to know that. You make a mental note to talk about it at work the next day. I mean, do we? Do we really, though? You know what a toque is? Yes, and it's very helpful in winter, guys. You know Toronto is not a province. Yep. It's a city in a province. The province of Ontario. Back bacon and craft dinner are two of your favorite food groups. Always. You have rolled up the rim to win. Constantly. Haven't won anything. You are in grade 12, not 12th grade. Yeah. You constantly apologize for things, even if they aren't your fault. I barely apologize for things that are my fault, so I'm not about to apologize for things that aren't. And you know what a double-double is. Yeah. Never order it, but I know what it is. So that is a list of some Canadian problems. Let me know, what other Canadian problems do you guys, know about? Let me know in the comments down below. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Click the notification bell so you can be notified when I upload my latest videos. Follow me on all the socials. The link is in the description down below. And I will see you all in another video. Bye, guys.